Grouper, the king of the reefs, possesses the ability to change sex once in its lifetime and reigns supreme over coral habitats. Beyond ruling the ocean, it also contributes to a global seafood industry worth billions of dollars each year. So, how is it that up to 500,000 tons of grouper are farmed, harvested, and processed annually? The journey begins in calm coastal ponds, where each grouper is raised through changing tides and nurtured in crystal-clear salt water. From there, they enter state-of-the-art processing lines, transforming into gleaming fillets, ready to leave their ocean home and grace dinner tables around the world. Today, join Aquaculture Insight as we step into some of the world's most advanced grouper processing plants, uncovering the secrets behind the vibrant industry of this seafood monarch. All will be revealed in today's video. If China is the grouper capital with over 60% of the global supply, then the United States is the giant consumer, spending hundreds of millions of dollars each year on live and filleted grouper. From upscale seafood restaurants to family dinner tables, this gold from the sea is steadily capturing the American palate. Compared to tuna, a familiar star of the seafood world, grouper is about 20 to 30% more affordable, yet boasts twice the omega-3 content, firm white flesh, low fat, and a mercury level that's only a quarter of what's found in many other large fish. Beyond being a stealthy predator in the wild, grouper possesses a remarkable natural ability. They can change sex. Once they reach a certain age or size, they transition from male to female. Their reproductive organs shift, hormones surge, and even their colors and behavior noticeably transform. This incredible sequential hermaphroditism ensures sustainable reproduction and makes groupers well-suited for aquaculture. Thanks to their adaptability, groupers can thrive in closed indoor farming systems using cement or composite tanks equipped with roofing and systems that control temperature and lighting. Juvenile groupers are reared in seawater that has been treated through mechanical and biological filtration, as well as UV sterilization, effectively removing impurities and pathogens. Once they reach the desired size for grow-out, they are transferred to outdoor ponds or sea cages, where the expansive space and natural water sources allow them to continue developing, producing firm meat and rich flavor comparable to their wild-caught counterparts. During the indoor nursery stage, young groupers are fed floating or sinking pellets that are high in protein and appropriately sized to fit their small mouths. The daily feed is divided into multiple meals to ensure a continuous supply of nutrients, helping the fish grow quickly, stay healthy, and successfully adapt when moved to outdoor environments. Once transferred to the outdoor environment, groupers are released into large grow-out tanks, typically round or square in shape, with high sturdy walls to maintain stable water levels. From above, the circular tanks resemble a chain of massive wells, their deep blue surfaces glistening under the sunlight, signaling a promising new growth phase for the young fish just out of the nursery. Seawater is continuously pumped through a system of pipes and recirculating filters, keeping the environment clean, oxygen-rich, and stable in salinity. Beneath the surface, groupers, the silent predators of coral reefs, grow slowly but steadily, developing firm flesh month by month. They prefer to swim leisurely near the bottom, occasionally darting upward to snap at prey. Thanks to the stable environment, their natural body patterns become more vibrant, and the flavor of their meat grows as rich and refined as that of wild-caught groupers. Groupers, once known as stealthy predators of coral reefs, are now methodically raised in modern aquaculture farms. Their feed is often locally produced, using a mix of fish meal, squid meal, fish oil, and essential minerals and vitamins, blended into a high-protein, easily digestible formula, and pelletized for each growth stage. The feeding process is fully automated, ensuring accurate timing and even distribution, helping the fish grow uniformly and stay healthy. When harvest season begins, the massive offshore cages are gradually tightened, herding the groupers toward the center. From the deep seabed, each 20 to 30 kilograms fish slowly emerges, their firm bodies and golden-silver scales glistening in the sunlight, signaling they've reached peak condition. Fishermen work with swift yet precise movements, using soft, specialized nets to gently lift each fish from the water. The goal is to minimize any contact, as even a small scratch can lower the commercial value. The freshly caught groupers are immediately transferred into seawater tanks enriched with oxygen to maintain their health and reduce stress before being brought ashore. On deck, the harvest crew follows a strict procedure, checking water temperature and salinity, monitoring the condition of the fish, and ensuring each one meets quality standards. This is the culmination of over 2 years of careful farming, constant supervision, and modern technology. Each harvest isn't just an economic event, often worth tens of thousands of dollars, but also a testament to the seamless coordination between aquaculture techniques and fishermen's expertise. These prized catches are swiftly transported to processing plants, ensuring they remain as fresh as when they were still swimming in the sea. As soon as they arrive at the processing plant, the groupers are immediately sent through a high-pressure washing system, where cold water jets spray from multiple directions to remove impurities and thoroughly clean the fish before moving on to the next stages. From the washing area, qualified specimens are sorted, and the larger groupers, weighing between 30 and 50 kilograms, are directed into a specialized processing line. Handling these giants cannot rely solely on conventional industrial machinery. It requires the skilled hands of seasoned seafood processors to ensure precision in every step and to preserve the integrity of the meat. The process includes gutting, filleting, skinning, and portioning the fish so that each cut is even, visually appealing, and retains its natural structure. Large groupers are often pre-ordered by high-end restaurants or discerning culinary clients due to their richer flavor and exceptional firmness and elasticity compared to smaller fish. Their value can be many times higher than that of standard commercial groupers, not only because of their abundant meat, but also due to their rarity and premium quality. Each large grouper, once processed, becomes a prized ingredient, demanding meticulous attention and refined technique to create a final product that meets the highest standards. While large groupers require the skilled hands of seafood artisans to be carefully processed with precision cuts, standard commercial groupers are handled through an optimized industrial line designed to maximize efficiency and consistency. First, workers perform manual pre-processing steps. The process is closely monitored to ensure hygiene, quality, and uniformity before moving on to the next stage. Compared to many other marine fish species, grouper has relatively fewer and smaller bones. However, to meet the strict standards of high-end markets, processing plants still carry out an extremely meticulous deboning process. At traditional processing facilities, this step is often performed manually under high-intensity lighting. Each fillet is placed on a chilled stainless steel table where workers use specialized steel tweezers to remove every tiny bone. Because even a single missed bone can cause an entire shipment to be rejected in demanding markets like Japan or Europe. After filleting, the grouper meat is quickly rinsed with cold water to retain its freshness and remove any remaining impurities. Immediately afterward, each fillet is carefully sorted based on color, firmness, and the uniformity of the meat's grain. Only the highest grade portions proceed to the packaging stage, ensuring exceptional product quality. After being carefully inspected and graded, each grouper fillet is transferred to the IQF, Individual Quick Freezing System. This technology uses an intense blast of deep cold air to freeze the fillets within minutes without breaking the meat's natural structure. As a result, the freshness, color, and natural texture are preserved almost perfectly. Immediately after the first freezing, the fillets move on to the glazing process. Here, each fillet is gently dipped into a bath of pure, cold water, forming an ultra-thin ice coating around the surface. This layer helps prevent moisture loss, oxidation, and freezer burn during long-term storage. The fillets are then frozen a second time to lock in the glaze, ensuring the product maintains its optimal quality until it reaches the consumer. For fillets that meet the required standards, the next stage is the automated packaging line. Workers perform a final check before placing the fillets into pre-shaped trays of exact standard weight, ensuring uniformity and visual appeal. The trays then pass through a modern vacuum sealing machine, which removes all air and seals them tightly, keeping the freshness for longer without the need for preservatives. Finally, the products are labeled, printed with traceability codes, and neatly packed into cold storage cartons, ready to be shipped to supermarkets and demanding export markets. A single grouper fillet may seem simple, but it is the culmination of an entire chain of advanced technology and meticulous craftsmanship at every step. Beneath that cold, impassive packaging lies the full value of a true culinary treasure from the ocean. Grouper is renowned for its pristine white flesh with a firm yet tender texture, both resilient and delicate in every strand. Its flavor carries the briny breath of the deep sea, yet remains clean and subtly sweet without any harsh fishiness. This perfect balance makes grouper an exceptionally versatile ingredient, able to adapt to diverse cuisines and cooking techniques, while still retaining its own distinctive character. Beyond delighting the palate, grouper is also rich in nutritional value. It boasts a high protein content, low saturated fat, abundant omega-3 fatty acids, and a wealth of essential minerals such as potassium, calcium, phosphorus, and B vitamins, making it both delicious and nourishing. These nutrients support cardiovascular and bone health, strengthen the immune system, and help maintain the body's vitality and flexibility. The value of grouper lies not only in its taste or nutrition, but also in its rarity. It is a slow-growing species with a long cultivation cycle, requiring an almost pristine environment to reach the highest quality. Each fish that reaches the consumer is the result of years of careful farming, monitoring, and attentive care. For this reason, a single grouper fillet is not merely food, it is the culmination of modern aquaculture technology, the dedication of skilled farmers, and an invaluable gift from the sea. In the world of tuna, the bluefin reigns supreme, a true ocean legend holding countless mosts that set it apart from the rest. With a torpedo-shaped body and swimming speeds of up to 70 km per hour, second only to marlins and swordfish, paired with extraordinary endurance, these giants can migrate across the Atlantic or Pacific Oceans, covering thousands of kilometers without rest. Beneath those powerful muscles lies deep red flesh, rich in myoglobin, the ocean's equivalent of Wagyu beef. Each cut is graded by fat content, with otoro, the buttery melt-in-your-mouth belly, being the most prized, fetching hundreds of dollars for a single slice of sashimi. Japan is currently the largest consumer of bluefin tuna, accounting for over 80% of global demand. Meanwhile, Spain, the United States, Mexico, and Australia play leading roles in catching and fattening these majestic fish. Though bluefin makes up less than 1% of the world's total tuna catch, it brings in a staggering 2 to 3 billion USD annually, making it the backbone of the premium seafood industry. Right now, join me on a thrilling chase between fishermen and the giants of the sea. Trust me, what you're about to witness will keep your eyes glued to the screen. Every June, as offshore waters begin to warm with the shifting currents, bluefin tuna fishing fleets spring into action, marking the start of the most vibrant harvest season of the year. To ensure a successful catch, fishermen must understand the migratory patterns and preferred environmental conditions of this prized species. Bluefin tuna are typically found in deep waters, with temperatures ranging from 18 to 22 degrees Celsius. Areas rich in oxygen and teeming with baitfish like sardines, herring, and squid. The golden hours for casting lines are usually at dawn or dusk, when the tuna move closer to the surface and feed most aggressively. But out in the vast open ocean, one pressing question remains. How do you locate these elusive giants? With lightning-fast speeds and a tendency to dwell in deeper layers, bluefin tuna are notoriously difficult to detect. That's why fishermen rely on a combination of age-old wisdom, such as reading unusual currents or tracking seabirds diving for prey, and modern technology, including advanced sonar systems capable of detecting movement deep beneath the waves. Each bluefin tuna purse seine expedition begins with meticulous preparation, and bait is the first key to success or failure. On board, live bait tanks, usually containing sardines or herrings, are carefully monitored for temperature and oxygen levels to ensure the bait fish remain healthy and active. Before deploying the net, fishermen scatter small clusters of baitfish into the sea to attract schools of tuna, creating optimal conditions for an accurate and effective net deployment. Once the location of the tuna school is confirmed, the main vessel initiates the encirclement. A smaller auxiliary boat tows the massive purse seine net in a circular motion around the school. These nets can stretch from several hundred to over 1,000 meters long and reach depths of 150 to 200 meters. Enough to block the horizontal and vertical escape paths of the fish. The net is equipped with floating buoys at the top and weighted leads at the bottom, forming a sealed wall of water. Once the encirclement is complete, a drawstring at the base of the net is pulled tight, closing it like the mouth of a giant bag, trapping the entire school of tuna inside and preventing any escape. After hours of patient waiting, the sea erupts in a golden moment as the once still water inside the net suddenly surges with movement. Immediately, the crew rushes out and begins hauling in the tuna using specialized gaff hooks, tools specifically designed to safely bring each fish on board. Bluefin tuna are known for their ferocity and immense strength. Many continue to thrash violently, even when pulled close to the surface. Smaller or medium-sized fish can be handled by a single person. But when it comes to the true giants, weighing 200 to 300 kilograms, at least two fishermen must work in perfect coordination, keeping the line tight and lifting the fish decisively. In cases where the fish is too large, they maneuver it alongside the boat and use a specialized harpoon to strike precisely at the back. A technique that secures the fish while protecting the prized belly meat from damage. Every move is made with care to ensure the highest commercial quality. In some regions, fishermen also employ mechanical aids like cranes or pulleys to lift the tuna directly onto the boat for transport. Once the battle ends, the sea returns to calm, and the vessel continues its voyage, carrying a deck full of prized catch. Another common method used by fishermen to catch bluefin tuna is longline fishing. This technique involves deploying a main fishing line that stretches for several kilometers, with hundreds or even thousands of baited hooks attached along its length. These hooks are set at optimal depths to trap schools of tuna right in their natural hunting zones. Longline fishing for bluefin tuna requires live bait that swims naturally to entice the fish to bite on its own. Bluefin are highly sensitive and will only strike if the bait has no unusual smell and moves realistically. Sardines, mackerel, and anchovies are carefully hooked to preserve their natural motion. Artificial or frozen bait is only used when live bait is unavailable. Once the location of a tuna school is identified, fishermen begin releasing the main line, which spans several kilometers and carries hundreds of branch lines baited with live fish like sardines or mackerel. The bait is deployed at depths of 50 to 200 meters, where bluefin tuna typically hunt. The entire setup process is carried out quickly and precisely, resembling a well-planned ambush in the deep ocean. After several hours to half a day, the crew returns to haul in the line. If successful, they'll find massive bluefin tuna, each weighing hundreds of kilograms, gleaming silver in the sunlight as they dangle from the hooks. Once a tuna takes the bait, the retrieval process must be handled with extreme care to avoid spooking the fish, which could lead to violent thrashing, hook loss, or snapped lines. As the massive body of the fish emerges from the water, fishermen quickly secure it by harpooning the upper body or gaffing it through the gills, avoiding the belly where the most valuable cuts of meat are located. The team then works in sync to haul the tuna on board. Immediately afterward, the preservation process begins. The gills are cut and the internal organs removed to lower the body temperature and prevent bacterial growth. Crushed ice is then packed inside the cavity to chill the fish from the inside out, followed by a thick layer of ice covering the entire body on deck. This on-the-spot chilling is the key to maintaining peak freshness, vibrant color, and premium sashimi quality until the fish reaches the world's top chefs. In Japan, bluefin tuna are typically transported directly to renowned fish markets like Toyosu. The fish are lifted from the boats onto cold concrete floors, tagged with identification labels, traceability codes, and auction numbers to ensure transparency. A high-quality tuna can fetch anywhere from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of USD depending on its fat content, size, and flesh color. After the auction, the tuna are taken to on-site processing areas within the market. Filleting a tuna here is not just a technical task, but an art form that demands precision and deep knowledge of the fish's anatomy. First, the craftsman slices off the tail to inspect meat quality, then removes the head and gills. The body is divided into 4 main sections, 2 back loins and 2 belly loins, with the belly, otoro, being the most prized for its rich fat content. Further cuts remove the skin, tendons, and excess fat, leaving behind perfect sashimi-grade fillets. For top-grade bluefin, otoro can sell for $300–500 per kilogram at the market. In high-end restaurants, even a small slice of otoro sashimi can cost $20–50 or more, depending on its richness and rarity. In addition to fresh auction sales at the market, a large portion of bluefin tuna is frozen immediately on board to serve export demands. This is a crucial solution to meet the enormous global appetite for bluefin, especially for the frozen sashimi market. Large export vessels function as mobile freezing factories, equipped with ultra-low temperature freezers that maintain conditions below 60 degrees Celsius. When the ship docks, each tuna is hooked onto cables and lifted ashore, then immediately transferred to specialized refrigerated trucks with deep freeze compartments. The entire process is closed and continuous to prevent thawing, which would compromise product quality. At the processing plant, frozen bluefin tuna is transferred directly into deep freeze storage, maintained at temperatures below -60 degrees Celsius until it's time for processing. When the handling process begins, crates of tuna are retrieved using specialized forklifts and moved to the cutting area. There, the fish is placed on a conveyor belt, where workers stand ready to precisely separate the valuable cuts of meat. In the rough cutting zone, industrial bandsaws with vertical blades are mounted on reinforced metal tables. Workers, dressed in protective clothing and thick rubber gloves, carefully push each fish through the saw. First, the head, containing mostly bone and little meat, is removed and cut into smaller sections for separate handling. Next, a lengthwise cut from head to tail divides the fish along the spine into two halves. The section near the gills, which contains more blood, is removed to ensure hygiene and meat quality. Before filleting, frozen bluefin tuna is passed through an industrial grinder. The high-speed rotating blade removes dried blood, frozen fat, and surface ice, preparing the fish for perfectly precise sashimi cuts in the next stage. Each half is then further divided into 4 equal portions called loins, the most prized cuts, ideal for sashimi and sushi. Finally, these large loins are cut into standardized rectangular blocks, ready for packaging and sorting according to export specifications. The entire process is fast, yet extremely precise. Just a few millimeters of error can significantly reduce the value of the meat. From ancient offshore hunts to modern dining tables, bluefin tuna now face the threat of extinction due to overfishing. Species like the southern bluefin tuna have been listed as critically endangered, prompting international organizations to tighten regulations for their conservation. In response to this crisis, farming bluefin tuna has emerged as a necessary yet highly challenging solution. These fish are long-distance migrators, slow to reproduce, and notoriously difficult to rear in captivity. Nevertheless, countries such as Japan, Australia, and Spain have developed successful fattening models. Juvenile wild-caught tuna are transferred into offshore sea pens and raised for 6 to 12 months before harvest. These massive circular cages, some measuring dozens of meters in diameter, are enclosed with strong nets to prevent escapes and protect the fish from predators. The model helps stabilize supply, maintain meat quality, and ease pressure on wild adult populations. Every day, supply vessels approach the cages to deliver feed, typically frozen sardines or mackerel, chopped and pumped into the pens via rotating nozzles or specialized feeding tubes. Feeding is carefully monitored in terms of timing and quantity to track the tuna's growth, fat content, and flesh coloration, ensuring they meet sashimi-grade standards before being sold. When the tuna reach a weight of 100 to 200 kilograms, harvesting begins, though it must comply with strict quotas since the initial stock still relies on wild-caught juveniles. While farmed tuna are generally priced lower than wild-caught ones due to less complex flavor and texture, they continue to meet high export demand worldwide. The journey of the bluefin tuna ends in deep red slices of sashimi, rich, refined, and full of character. Yet this is merely a small cut from the ever-evolving tapestry of global cuisine. Behind every dish lies a world of challenges, change, and hope. And as this journey comes to a close, perhaps another is quietly beginning, full of promise and possibility. China is currently the world's largest producer of salt, with an annual output of up to 70 million tons, with coastal salt fields spanning thousands of hectares. The United States ranks second, but leads in cutting-edge extraction technologies and advanced automation systems. Throughout history, salt has been far more than just a seasoning. It was once used as currency, a strategic weapon, and today remains a billion-dollar industry spanning continents. But have you ever wondered how salt is actually formed? Accounting for nearly 60% of global salt production, sea salt is the most common and accessible type. As seawater evaporates under the sun in shallow salt ponds, the salt concentration gradually increases until it reaches saturation, causing sodium chloride to crystallize into shimmering white layers that sparkle like crystal. An adult needs around 4 to 5 grams of salt per day to maintain blood pressure, nerve function, and internal balance. But when consumed in excess, salt becomes a silent killer, leading to high blood pressure, heart failure, kidney damage, and other serious complications. And now, join us as we begin the journey to the birthplace of salt, where sunlight, wind, and human hands come together to create the glistening white gold that has sustained civilizations for thousands of years. Every December, as the weather turns dry, sunny, and low in rainfall, ideal conditions for salt crystallization, the coastal salt farms begin a new production season. Farmers start by restoring the entire salt field system in preparation for the journey of harvesting white gold. Storage ponds, concentration ponds, and crystallization beds are thoroughly dredged, leveled, and reinforced with solid dikes to retain water. The pond bottoms are either paved with dark cement or compacted with clay to prevent seepage and enhance heat absorption, accelerating the evaporation process. A standard salt field system typically consists of 3 main zones: a settling pond to purify incoming seawater, a concentration pond to increase salinity, and a crystallization bed, where bright white salt crystals slowly take shape under the coastal sun and wind. Once the salt field system is ready, seawater is channeled into the first settling pond through shallow ground-level canals or pipelines connected directly to the sea. Each settling pond can hold up to 500,000 liters of water. Timing is crucial. Water must be drawn in during high tide to capture optimal salinity. A delay of just a few hours can disrupt the entire crystallization process that follows. There, it is held for 1 to 3 days to allow sediment, sand, algae, and plankton to settle, effectively purifying the water before it enters the crystallization stage. After this settling and filtration process, farmers use salinity meters to check whether the brine has reached the appropriate saturation level for salt to begin crystallizing. This precise measurement helps regulate the salt concentration, ensuring even formation and high-quality harvests. When the seawater reaches the desired salinity, it is channeled through small ditches into evaporation ponds, where natural sunlight and wind gradually evaporate the water. At the concentration pond, seawater continues to undergo natural evaporation under the combined effects of sunlight and coastal winds. As the water gradually evaporates, the salinity rises from an initial 3 to 5% to around 20 to 25%. This process can take anywhere from several days to over a week, depending on sunlight intensity, wind speed, and humidity. When the salt concentration reaches the optimal range of 24 to 26%, the brine is transferred to the crystallization beds, areas with wide, flat surfaces that are carefully treated with black cement or compacted clay to prevent seepage and maximize heat absorption. Here, the brine is maintained at a shallow depth of just 3 to 5 centimeters, an ideal level that allows sunlight and wind to penetrate effectively, accelerating evaporation in a consistent manner. After about 2 to 5 days, sodium chloride crystals begin to form from the bottom up, creating a bright, evenly grained layer of salt that's easy to harvest. Interestingly, the crystallization process doesn't occur as individual grains, but rather as thin sheets that can peel off in large flakes. In small-scale salt production areas, or regions where salt flats are uneven, with soft soil or sandy surfaces that limit the use of machinery, traditional manual harvesting remains the primary method. Simple tools like bamboo rakes, aluminum shovels, and hand-pulled carts become indispensable companions for salt farmers in their daily effort to collect the precious white gold. Salt is gathered into small piles, then loaded onto carts or specialized transport vehicles and moved to collection points in preparation for storage and distribution. The work demands endurance and precision, as it often takes place under intense sunlight, with the reflective surface of the salt field amplifying the heat and creating an extremely harsh working environment. Despite the laborious nature of the job, income for salt workers is often unstable, depending heavily on harvest volume and fluctuating market prices. Yet for those who have devoted their lives to it, salt farming is more than just a livelihood. It is a source of pride, deeply tied to the culture and traditions of coastal communities. For large-scale salt fields, mechanized harvesting is the optimal choice, boosting productivity while significantly reducing manual labor. Today, self-propelled salt harvesters, equipped with front blades and inclined conveyor systems, are among the most commonly used machines in modern salt production. These machines shorten collection time and improve transportation efficiency. Instead of serving merely as transport equipment like earlier models, modern self-propelled salt harvesters now integrate all key functions: scraping, collecting, and storing salt into a single machine. A front-mounted blade pushes the crystallized salt toward the center, where an auger conveyor lifts it into a rear storage compartment with a capacity of several tons. This type of machine is now widely used in large-scale salt fields across the United States, Australia, and several Middle Eastern countries, regions that demand high efficiency and advanced automation. Whether harvested by hand or machine, the salt is ultimately transported to storage areas where it is preserved before distribution. From there, it may be sold as coarse, raw salt or sent to refining facilities where it is processed into fine purified crystals, suitable for cooking and food manufacturing. At facilities dedicated to raw salt production, trucks loaded with salt from crystallization fields are driven directly to the material intake area. The salt is dumped into a receiving hopper connected to a conveyor system that transports it into the processing plant. Here, workers perform an initial visual inspection, removing visible impurities such as trash, seashells, stones, or other foreign objects mixed in with the salt. Next, the salt passes through a rotating crusher that breaks apart large clumps and loosens the material, ensuring more uniform grain size. The final stop is the packaging area, where the salt is measured into evenly portioned bags, then sealed using either heat sealing machines or industrial stitching to prevent moisture intrusion and allow for easier transportation. At this stage, the salt retains most of its natural minerals, making it ideal for food preservation, water treatment, or industrial uses such as chemical production, de-icing roads, and water softening. At refined salt processing plants, raw salt is first unloaded into a feed hopper, which connects directly to an automated conveyor system that carries it into the main production line. In the first stage, the salt is transferred into multi-stage washing tanks, where fresh water is used to remove fine sand, silt, dissolved impurities, and any remaining microorganisms. In some modern systems, the washing process is enhanced with vibrating screens and centrifugal separators, which help extract both heavy and light contaminants with maximum efficiency, without dissolving the valuable salt crystals. After the washing step, the salt is transferred into a tank or automatic dissolving unit to form a brine solution. Here, the salt is dissolved in hot water or a concentrated salt solution to reach a saturated state, meaning the highest possible salt concentration. The solution is continuously stirred to accelerate the dissolving process and improve efficiency. Next, the saturated brine solution is passed through a multi-stage filtration system to remove dissolved impurities such as calcium ions, magnesium, heavy metals, and any remaining insoluble residues. The filtration equipment may include settling tanks, pressure filters, sand filters, activated carbon filters, or the use of chemical precipitants like soda ash, NaCO3, or lime, CaOH2, to eliminate calcium and magnesium. To produce batches of pure white salt, the clean brine solution must be crystallized using a vacuum crystallization system or multi-effect evaporators, where temperature and pressure are tightly controlled. The evaporation of water under vacuum conditions causes the salt to recrystallize into fine, uniform granules. After crystallization, the wet salt crystals are sent through a centrifuge to remove excess moisture, producing semi-dry salt. This salt is then transferred to a hot air drying chamber, where the temperature is carefully controlled to fully dry the salt crystals without causing clumping or degradation. This drying process typically uses a fluidized bed dryer or a continuous belt dryer system. After drying, the salt may be cooled using air to prevent it from reabsorbing moisture when exposed to the external environment. Depending on its intended use, the salt is then ground into various particle sizes, such as fine salt, powdered salt, table salt, or industrial salt. Grinding and screening machines ensure uniformity and consistent quality of the final product. The salt crystals are separated into different sizes using vibrating screens or air classification, ensuring the final product meets uniformity and technical standards. Once refined, the salt is transported to an automated packaging line. This system can pack it into 500 grams or 1 kilogram consumer bags, as well as larger industrial sacks ranging from 25 kilograms to 50 kilograms. Each batch undergoes strict quality control checks, including moisture content, purity, iodine levels, and microbial presence. Products that meet the standards are stored and then distributed to the market. But you might wonder, what happens to all that water used in the process? Is it simply discarded? Not at all. In fact, modern salt refining plants are equipped with integrated wastewater treatment systems to ensure environmental safety. Wastewater from washing, filtering, and drying stages is treated using physical, chemical, or biological methods. Once purified, this water can be reused in non-food contact applications, such as cooling systems or equipment surface cleaning. This approach not only reduces operational costs, but also aligns with sustainable production standards. In addition to common sea salt, there are also rare and valuable types like Korean bamboo salt, which can cost many times more due to its unique mineral content and a painstaking production process that takes weeks or even months to complete. This unique type of salt originates from Korea and has been used in traditional medicine as a detoxifier and digestive aid. Bamboo salt begins with natural sea salt, but instead of being refined, it is packed into sections of fresh bamboo, which are then sealed at both ends with volcanic clay. These bamboo tubes filled with salt are fired in a kiln at extremely high temperatures, ranging from 800 degrees to over 1,300 degrees. And the process can be repeated 3 to 9 times depending on the grade of the salt. The first firing removes impurities, while subsequent firings enhance mineral content and trigger chemical reactions between the salt, bamboo, and clay. During the firing process, the salt changes color, from white to purple, gray, or metallic hues, and its crystal structure is transformed. It loses the harsh sharpness of regular salt and develops a more mellow taste with subtle mineral undertones. Remarkably, bamboo salt is highly alkaline, with a pH between 10 and 12, and is believed to neutralize excess acid in the body, aid in treating stomach ulcers, detoxify the liver, eliminate heavy metals, and cleanse the mouth. Compared to refined sea salt, which is primarily pure NaCl, bamboo salt is almost a controlled chemical transformation, crafted through traditional methods. Each batch can take several days to weeks to complete and consumes a large amount of raw material. Producing 1 kilogram of 9 times roasted bamboo salt may require over 10 kilograms of raw sea salt, along with meticulous labor. This explains why bamboo salt commands such a high price, especially the 9 times roasted variety, which can cost as much as $200, $300 per kilogram, and is often sold in small containers as a health supplement rather than used as a daily seasoning. Once the windrows have dried to the right moisture level, specialized combine harvesters equipped with advanced cutting heads are brought in to complete the process. These machines efficiently pick up the windrows, separating the tiny black seeds from the stalks through a gentle threshing process. The harvesters are designed to minimize seed loss while leaving the remaining stalk residue neatly in the field, where it can decompose and enrich the soil. The combine harvester for canola features a large grain tank positioned on top of the machine to store seeds directly after separation from the plant. It efficiently cuts the plants using front-mounted blades and moves them into the threshing chamber to extract the seeds. The canola seeds are collected and transported into the top-mounted tank via a conveyor system, while the stalks and leaves are discharged out the back. When the bin is full, the canola is transferred to a trailer for transport to storage. Next, we will explore the direct harvesting process using a combine harvester. Direct harvesting of canola using a combine harvester is common in Australia, the United States. This machine basically works exactly the same way as the combine harvester above, except that the harvester is larger to help maximize the harvest area. Canola isn't just an essential oilseed crop, it's a cornerstone of global agriculture, with annual production reaching over 46 billion pounds. Canada is the leading producer, contributing a significant share to the global market, followed by countries like Australia and the European Union. However, fluctuations in climate and international trade can impact supply. The United States also plays a vital role in the global canola market, leveraging its advanced agricultural technology and sustainable farming practices to meet market demands. American farmers' adaptability ensures a stable supply of high-quality canola, supporting global food security and reinforcing the U.S.'s position as a key player in international agricultural trade. For large-scale operations, multiple harvesters often work in formation, moving rhythmically across the field to complete the harvest in the shortest time possible. This blend of careful preparation, swathing, and advanced machinery ensures that each canola seed is harvested with precision and care, ready for the next stages of processing and production. After harvesting, canola is transported to the oil press by truck. Trucks loaded with freshly harvested canola seeds roll into the factory gates, carrying tons of raw materials straight from vast fields. The seeds are weighed and inspected for quality before being unloaded onto conveyor belts, beginning their journey through the modern oil extraction process. The process of unloading canola seeds from the truck into the storage facility is quick and efficient. The truck is positioned over a grating that covers the storage pit, and the bottom hatch of the truck is opened to let the seeds flow down. The canola seeds are then transferred via conveyor belts or augers into the main storage silo, ensuring minimal spillage. The canola seeds move steadily along the conveyor belt, passing through initial cleaning stations to remove debris like leaves, stems, and dirt. From there, the seeds are guided into crushers or rollers, where they are gently cracked to loosen the oil-rich hulls from the inner kernels. This process ensures the kernels are ready for further conditioning and oil extraction. Next, they are fed into mechanical presses or expellers that extract a portion of the oil. To maximize yield, the remaining seed meal is processed in solvent extraction machines, where food-grade hexane is used to extract the remaining oil. The oil collected from both processes is then filtered and sent to storage tanks for refining. Next, the crude canola oil is filtered and treated with chemicals or physical methods to remove free fatty acids, waxes, and unwanted particles. The oil is then decolorized and deodorized with activated carbon and steam, resulting in pure, safe, and flavorful canola oil for consumption. After refining, the canola oil is pumped into the bottling line, where automated machines fill it into pre-sterilized bottles with precision, to ensure consistent volume. Now you've gained a comprehensive understanding of the journey of canola, from vast golden fields to high-quality oil. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of a crop that plays such an important role in both agriculture and everyday life. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating insights into the world of farming and food production. See you in the next video.